After the dramatic reveal that Gwen Stacy is back, Spider-Man is left in complete disbelief. But it's not him who faces the consequences. As we see this new resurrected version of Gwen Stacy, also known as X-31, also known as Dark Gwenpool, it leaves Gwenpool wondering how she's going to cope dealing with this dark counterpart of hers. But everything is not quite as it seems. Let's not waste any more time as we recap Gwenpool issue 2. Let's go! We open on Gwenpool, leaning into one of her classic comic book rants. The problem with comic books is that there is so much backstory. In this case, Gwenpool is talking about Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker, and referring to their infamous history resulting in the death of Gwen Stacy. But now, here she is, resurrected with Weapon X-ish abilities. Meanwhile, Kate Bishop asks Gwenpool, who is this Dark Gwenpool? And Gwenpool jokes, it's Emma Stone. But when Kate Bishop dismisses that comment, Gwenpool has to admit, it's complicated. Under the mask, there's a resurrected Gwen Stacy, also known as X-31, looking like a darker, deadlier version of Gwenpool. And then it gets personal. Dark Gwenpool stares down Spider-Man, eyes burning with rage. She tells Spider-Man that she's always wondered how she would feel if she ever saw him again, and now she knows. Spider-Man is in disbelief when he asks her who she really is, but her response is cold. You know who I am. The woman you killed, Peter. Spider-Man refuses to believe it and begins to fire off webs at her, calling her a clone or a robot, anything but real. But she's certain, and terrifyingly sure, this is her, though not the Gwen Stacy Spider-Man last saw rotting in the ground. As Spider-Man continues firing webs off, she blocks every strand of it. Kate has to step in with a stun arrow, saying she's done with the drama, but Dark Gwenpool easily grabs the arrow, thanks Kate, and electrocutes Spidey with it. Brutal, quick, efficient. Kate turns to Gwenpool, asking her why she's not doing anything, but Gwenpool, cuddled up with Jeff the Landshark, casually says, this is the lover's tip of the century. I just need popcorn. But Dark Gwenpool is clearly angered by this comment, and so she opens fire. Gwenpool evades the shots whilst Dark Gwenpool refers to someone called the Architect, the handler behind the whole weaponized resurrection, stating that he told her that Gwenpool is asinine, but she thought he was just exaggerating. However, she has been proven wrong. Gwenpool snags a gun and fires back, although this proves to be pointless as Dark Gwenpool easily deflects every shot, even deflecting a shot that knocks Kate's bow out of her hand, disarming her, demonstrating Dark Gwenpool's incredible skill in combat. Gwenpool pushes her luck as she continues firing and states that whilst Dark Gwenpool is good, she isn't as good as her, giving Dark Gwenpool the opportunity to prove her wrong by setting off a sonic grenade, immobilizing everyone. Kate helps Spider-Man to his feet, noting that he has been shot through the shoulder and is losing a lot of blood. She tells him to retreat, but with his spider sense still going wild, he refuses to stand down, needing to know who or what happened to Gwen Stacy. Then suddenly, a building explodes somewhere nearby. Gwenpool wonders if she didn't kick Fing Bang Foom hard enough. This puzzles Dark Gwenpool, and Gwenpool simply compliments herself, stating it was really cool. Kate Bishop receives a message in an earbud from the Avengers Emergency Channel, asking if Spider-Man is getting the same message. Gwenpool's confused. Who gets an official Avengers earbud? Kate lets her know that all the reservists get them, and everyone who didn't already respond to the Fing Bang Foom attack is being called in. Whilst Gwenpool is wondering why she was never given an earbud, Dark Gwenpool is leaving. Spider-Man, regardless of his brutal injuries, chooses to chase after her, leaving Kate, Gwenpool, and Jeff the Landshark to answer the Avengers' call. As we see a montage of the Avengers dealing with several threats across the city, Gwenpool gives us some more of her insight about comic books. She is aware that comic book continuity is only one part of comics, and it's potentially the least important part. After all, retcons happen all of the time. She has lost track of the times that she has been retconned, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that the comic book is fun, and today, for Gwenpool, it certainly was fun, as she refers to her encounter with Grizzly and assisting She-Hulk with rioters. It's not a surprise to her that there is so much chaos across the city, as civilians are put through apocalypse after apocalypse, whether it's vampires, zombiotes, Doctor Doom. But that's the point. Comics need a big world-ending event, and her day consisted of a rampaging monster and the unexpected return of a genuine comic book icon. However, as Gwenpool is mid-monologue, She becomes distracted, almost getting hit by one of the rioters, when Kate swoops in and saves her. Kate asks if something is wrong, and Gwenpool replies by saying that she feels like someone just walked over her grave. She then notices someone in the distance, a hooded figure watching from on top of one of the buildings, but by the time Gwenpool points them out to Kate, they are gone. Meanwhile, Spider-Man swings in, beaten, weak, and desperate, chasing after the dark Gwenpool. He spots her looking suspicious as she appears to be harassing a young kid. He swoops down and snatches her away. However, he misread the situation. She was actually helping them. She throws a knife at an actual mugger and pins him down as the innocent kid runs away. Spider-Man, winded and ashamed, apologizes. Then he collapses. Suddenly, dark Gwenpool rushes over to Peter. Memories flicker of a romantic moment from their past, and so she tells him that she should let him die after everything he did to her, but instead, she wants to get him to the hospital. However, Gwenpool and Jeff the Landshark interrupt. Dark Gwenpool tells her that she doesn't understand. However, when Gwenpool grabs Dark Gwenpool's shoulder, Dark Gwenpool immediately stabs her through the chest, impaling her on her katana. Gwenpool whispers, "Nice visual reference, a real classic," as Dark Gwenpool stutters that she didn't mean to do this. Kate fires an arrow, pushing Dark Gwenpool back and runs to Gwenpool's side, calling for help. Dark Gwenpool bolts, and Spider-Man watches her escape. Hurt but alive, his words hanging. "You know I'm going to track you down, right?" Gwenpool's eyes glaze over as Kate Bishop calls out to her, no longer receiving a response. Gwenpool continues to narrate the situation, observing that maybe she was wrong, and that the worst things about comic books is when your favorite character bites the bullet. Just like that, out of the blue. Because those are the deaths that no one comes back from. The deaths that haunt us forever. The deaths that hurt. We will have to wait until the next issue to find out what happens in a world without Gwenpool. And if you're still craving more Spider-Man content, make sure to check out my Spider-Man playlist, or check out the rest of my channel where I upload Marvel content just like this every single week. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.